Okay, Regina, if you may assist me. Okay, so smile, everyone.
Yep,
Three.
give me a moment now. Okay.
In a 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so before we begin, if I may invite our Executive Director, Rose Tong, to give a few words. Rose, please.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We hope the session will be useful, and I'm quite certain that our experts here from Savills, from Lippo Malls, and of course from SBF, GlobalConnect, will be able to give you very useful information on the retail opportunities in Indonesia. And of course, I hope that you will actually tap on their advice to look at how you can actually build a global brand for yourself to venture into Indonesia. And I think there's lots of opportunities here, and I'm sure Roslyn will do a great job in making you confident of going into Indonesia. This is actually a prelude to our series of SRA Goes Global or Go Global with SRA, where we organize a series of webinars, and we're also looking at organizing trips, business mission trips to different countries. Firstly, with Indonesia from the 2nd to the 7th of June. So do take note of it. Other countries coming your way towards the end of the year. So keep a lookout for our EDMs and our website. Thank you. Enjoy. Would you, maybe perhaps Lippo Malls want to take over, or Roslyn?
Yeah. Thanks, Rose. Maybe if we invite, I'll invite James to maybe share a bit about NMIR.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for inviting us to participate in this webinar. It is a great opportunity to speak to you about Lippo Malls Indonesia. Lippo Malls Indonesia Retail Trust is a listed REIT in Singapore. I'm sure as Singapore companies, you're well familiar with the REIT market in Singapore. So the Lippo Malls Indonesia REIT is the only REIT in Singapore that has a significant Indonesian presence and assets. The structure is shown here. I think everyone is very familiar, and I will not touch too much on it. We are the largest shareholder of the Mir Trust is actually Lippo Karaji, the largest property developer in Indonesia. And our property manager, Lippo Malls Indonesia, who will participate later in this webinar, will talk a bit more about the operations. Obviously, today's session is on retail. So obviously, we as the largest owner of the retail assets in Indonesia would like to obviously to share our experiences in Indonesia. Next slide, please. So as you can see here, our assets are spread across the whole Indonesia, from Medan across all the way to Bali. We have actually 22 retail malls and several retail spaces with a total area NLA of almost a billion square meters, which is almost a million square meters, which is equivalent to almost what CI's Capital Integrated Commercial Trust has in Singapore, right? Although our valuation is much significantly lower, that's because obviously the rental rates in Indonesia is much different from Singapore. But for you retailers, when you look at Indonesia, obviously the first area you target is in Jakarta itself, and that's understandable because that's the capital of Indonesia. But as you can see, we have various presence across Indonesia, and I would urge retailers when looking at Indonesia to also consider the area in Sumatra. Yeah, in Sumatra, Medan and Palembang, we actually own the two largest malls in Indonesia in those areas. And based on the pandemic situation, we actually saw that the Sumatra area has recovered faster than Jakarta. It's a bit similar to what we see in Singapore, where the suburban malls have done better than the CBD malls. And it's almost a similar case here. So there are various opportunities, various areas, various markets that retailers can look to. The next page, please. Thank you. So this is a quick snapshot of the various kind of brands we have in Singapore, in Indonesia, in our Lemia malls. We do target the middle and the middle upper kind of market. So you will not see brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci, all these in our malls, but you see more tenants that are more similar and to you guys in the sub-level malls. You have your obviously fast food chain, you got Zara, you got your Uniqlo. So you see a more of a normal middle market kind of brands. Now, I was with the CEO of Lippo Malls Indonesia, Pak Henry Riyadi. He's also on this webinar. And he was in Singapore in February after Chinese New Year, visiting Singapore, I think after almost 1 year odd. And he remarked that in looking at Singapore tenants, he was very pleasantly surprised that there are so much more tenants in Singapore than Indonesia. I think that shows two things. One, obviously, Singapore remains a very attractive area for easy investments and business, but also it shows the opportunity for you retailers to exploit the market in Indonesia. There is a high demand, I would say a high demand for new retailers, opportunities for you to explore given the market space and the desire for new brands, new experiences that we can see. So without further ado, I'll pass this on to the next few speakers who will talk about the opportunity in Indonesia. But do thank you everyone for your time, and we do look forward to potentially working with you partners down the road in the future. Thank you.
Thanks, James. May I now invite Ms. Rosalind from Savills Indonesia to do the next presentation. Ms. Rosalind, please. Hi.
Is it our turn now? Okay, sorry, my speaker is not working. Hello, everybody. Is it Savills' turn now?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Greetings from Savills, Jakarta. Sorry, my speaker was not on just now. I couldn't hear. So thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you to SRA and also Lemire Trust for inviting and us to participate in this event and webinar. It is an honor for us. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rosalind Lee, and I'm the head of retail department in Savills. And together with me this afternoon is Pak Anton. He is the expert for research and consultancy. So both of us will be doing this presentation to give you a better understanding of Indonesian retail market. And I think for the first part of the presentation, Anton will help me to do it. And so I will give it to him now. Okay, the time is yours, Anton. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anton. I'm the head of research and consultancy at Savills. So I'm gonna go through my presentation before Ross section. What I'm gonna talk is about the Jakarta retail market update. But before that, I will give you a little bit of general information about the region. If you please go to the next slide, please. Next one. Again. Right, okay. As you probably know, Jakarta is a big agglomeration which consists of the capital city and satellite cities, Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, Bekasi. The total population in this region is approximately 35 million, where Jakarta has the registered 10 million population, and the satellite cities around 25 million. Next slide. It is probably the second largest agglomeration in the world after Greater Tokyo. So this region is considered the launch pad of retail in Indonesia. So everybody, if you want to go to Indonesia, usually they will launch their projects in Greater Jakarta area. So this is a very busy region. And then, as you probably know, that the President Jokowi has planned to move the capital city to Kalimantan. But we believe, although the capital city will be relocated to Kalimantan, but in terms of business, financial, and economic activities will remain concentrated in Jakarta. Next, please. If we're talking about Jakarta, there are a number of major retail clusters inside the cities. We have the CBD area in the heart of the city, and then in the south, where most of Jakarta's affluence lives, around Kebayoran Baru, Pondok Indah, Simatupang. This is also a major retail clusters, and we have Kelapa Gading and Pluit in North Jakarta, which also considered as the a big concentration of retail. And in the west, we have Puri and Grogol area. Most of the people in North Jakarta and West Jakarta were near the major retail clusters are relatively affluent cities, affluent families. Again, in this area, usually developers will put their malls near to the upscale housing district around these retail clusters. Next one. Okay, before talking about the infrastructure, Indonesia is not only Greater Jakarta. As we all know, and James from Lemire just mentioned previously, that we have other major cities outside Java, like in Sumatra, in Sulawesi. Yeah. So we have tier 1 cities like Jakarta, Surabaya, Bandung, and Medan. And then we also have tier 2 cities like Makassar, Palembang, yeah, and then a few other major cities in Java, and also tier 3 cities where the area started to grow, and there's a big potential in those smaller cities, which grow along with the economic development and rapid urbanization in that area. Talking about the infrastructure, as you also know, the main theme of President Jokowi development during his presidency is the infrastructure development. In Jakarta, there are a number of big transportation infrastructure that was completed and still under construction. Number one is MRT. We finally have the first stage of MRT operating from the south to the center of the city. And then the second stage, which in green area here, if you can see, is now being constructed from the center all the way to the north region. And also the government is preparing the next MRT stretching from the east to the west. Next slide. Aside from MRT, we also have the LRT, the light rapid transportation, which is built by state-owned companies. One is from Adikarya. It is going from the east of Jakarta all the way to the center of the city. Now is in the completion stage. The target is operating in August this year. This is quite a long line for the LRT. And then second one, next please. It's the LRT built by Jakarta government, or Jakpro, which is already in operational. This is stretching from Kelapa Gading all the way to the East Jakarta. So this is a short line, but the government is going to build more rapid mass transportation like this in order to ease the traffic problem in the capital city. So this is very helpful and hopefully will make Jakarta in parallel with other developed cities in the region. Next, please. Okay, I'm going to go through some slide on the Jakarta shopping mall. Started with the supply. At the moment, total supply in Jakarta for rental shopping malls is only 3.3 million square meters. This is very small as compared to other cities like Singapore or even Kuala Lumpur and Bangkok. So you can imagine that there's still a big room for market development in the future. In terms of grade, majority of current stock of malls in Jakarta is middle up, followed by upper. And we have high-end malls at about 15% of the entire stock, and with the low 14%. In terms of area, next slide, please. The majority of current stock are located in South Jakarta, 37%, followed by North Jakarta, which include Kelapa Gading and Pluit, 21%, and Central Jakarta, 15%. East Jakarta, which has the largest population in the capital city, only has 8% of current stock. So again, this is something that considers very underdevelopment. Yeah. So meanwhile, we began to see that the developers starting to look at the East Jakarta as potential area in the future. Next one. So the retail market in Jakarta prior to 2017, you can see that the market dynamic is very strong in terms of supply and market absorption. So the retail shopping mall market in Jakarta used to be like a big prima donna. I mean, the one of the best performing sector. But again, if we can see the last several years, due to the economic slowdown, and also the last 2 years we were hit by the pandemic, situation is slightly slowing down. So we can see that in 2020, 2 years ago, demand in terms of net take-up has dropped quite considerably, making the vacancy going up. But in 2021, we began to see a gradual increase in terms of net absorption in malls, where people are getting back, return to the malls, along with the ease in the lifting in pandemic restrictions. So we begin to see malls are now crowded again. And we believe that it will be followed by retailers expansion, just like in the old days. Next one. In terms of vacancy, you can see here that the high-end malls and has the very low vacancy still at around 5%. And meanwhile, the upper grade shopping malls in Jakarta, now the vacancy is about 13%, which is slightly higher if you compare to 2-3 years ago, due to a lot of development in this segment. The middle up shopping malls has the highest vacancy at the moment, at about 17%. Next slide. In terms of rental, again, the high-end shopping malls still perform much better as compared to others. If you can see from 2010 to 2021, the rent in high-end malls is relatively growing. With exception in 2020 when the pandemic started to hit the market, but we see that the rents have bounced back slightly last year in most of segments, except for the middle low, which is still seeing rents stuck at around last year's level. Next slide. So here's a number of selected new projects coming to the market during the pandemic. Again, this is very interesting project, but if we compare to the malls entering the market prior to 2017, the scale is relatively smaller. Yeah, I mean, in the past we used to have a new mall with size of more than 17,000 NLA, but the last 2-3 years, the development is relatively small, which also have impact from the tight regulation, in Jakarta, especially with the so-called the moratorium in mall development. However, this is not no longer the case, and the government will see that the development on a project by project basis. We have, for example, we have the Green Sedayu in North Jakarta. We have Senayan Park in the CBD. Yeah, we have also LEC in SCB at CBD area as well. Ashta, the Park Sawangan, and Mall Ciputra Tangerang. Next slide, please. Here's another major development. Aeon quite active in the market. They just completed 2 projects in Sentul, in south of Jakarta, and Southgate. We also have Hub Life. This is a retail development which connected to big residential towers. Pondok Indah Mall, they have the 3rd extension. We also have refurbishment of Sarinah, which is the first mall in Jakarta built by the government. So they just refurbished the area to look at more modern. And we also have Paradise Walks in Serpong area. Next, please. Oh yeah, this is the list of proposed projects that will enter the market over the next 2 to 3 years. So you can see that the interest from developers to build malls has now revived again, because for sometimes the development of malls in Jakarta is very quiet, but now developers are more attracted to build more malls again in both Jakarta and Bodetabek area. Probably my next slide is the last from me. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. Next slide, please. Before I hand it over to Ross, this is an outlook for retail market in Jakarta. As we can see here, starting from last year, we began to see an upturn in terms of demand for retail, and we expect this will continue over the next 2 to 3 years. So we believe that the current vacancy will be starting to stabilize. We don't expect the vacancy will go up again. So this in return will create a confidence for mall owners to adjust their rents, which in the last couple of years has been relatively softened. So Ross will talk about how's the trend and the more on the outlook for the retail rents in Jakarta. Over to you, Ross.
All right. Thank you, Anton, for your presentation. So again, as mentioned by Anton, all is not gloom during the pandemic. Actually, some is blooming. So a lot of businesses and small businesses starting to thrive, and then they're coming. It started from the offline. Actually, online. They're starting to look for an offline store. So basically, I would like to show you what have been happening during the pandemic. So there's a lot of brands are still expanding and opening. So next slide, please. My screen is freezing. Is it already in? Okay, next slide. Hello.
Yeah, but we can hear you, Bu Rosalind. I think.
Yeah, but I cannot hear on my screen. I cannot see anything on my screen. Okay, what?
I think it's still just
Okay, all right.
Belum keluar, it's not yet.
Okay, all right. I just thought that is my connection. Okay, again, like a lot of new businesses, a lot of young people are actually during the work from home, they are doing something out of, like because they feel bored and they starting to do the baking, do some, F&B concept and all that, and happen to be along these 2 years, suddenly they've gained quite a few followers and become popular. So they're starting to look for an outlet. So that is again, is a new players coming into the market during the pandemic. That's also create a demand. So I think definitely, it will be a good start for us next year. And also even now, there's a lot of inquiries coming from this new retailers, new concept of retails also.
Seems like the SRA, whoever is sharing, it's very blurry on my side. Bu Rosalind, you want to share over to me? I don't mind sharing the screen too, if you want to send the file to me.
Okay, I have not opened the file. Okay, I'll send to you, Pak. Okay, wait.
Yeah,
Karena from my side, okay. Saya okay.
Which WhatsApp name?
Yeah, I just put that on the chat group. It's very, very bad quality. Cannot even read the slides.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Otherwise, I can do also screen sharing.
I got it. Give me.
Okay.
I got it. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Share this. Do you mind allowing me to share whoever the host is? Hey, thank you. I got it. It's here.
Okay.
Can everybody see this?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
It's
Perfect.
clear.
Okay.
So we go to slide number 21, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, Pak.
I'm more than happy to help you.
Okay. Thank you. Actually, okay. So, all right. So I want to show you all the new retail expansion during the pandemic. This is not all. So basically, this is just mainly international brands that you all probably familiar with. So Haidilao, as you know, they are still keep on expanding. And then Naughty by Nature is one of a kind concept, a healthier concept by KFC. They make a thematic cafe style restaurant, and then they're serving grilled chicken with salad. That's one of the concepts that are also also because demanded by a healthy living. So that is one of the new concept that is coming out. Maison Kitsune and the cafe, they are opening also at Asta during the pandemic. Also Lukumades, they open quite a few. They are from Australia. And Gourmet by Ranch Market is a gourmet supermarket concept by Ranch Market. So they open also two during the pandemic, one in Asta and one in Senayan Park. Of course, other than the Gourmet by Ranch Market, they also open quite a few Ranch Market, the regular Ranch Market supermarket, actually across the town and also outside of Jakarta. Max Fashion also opening and still looking for space. Dragon Hotpot is very aggressively looking to come into several malls, including one that is outside in the suburban. Fanky is like luxury chocolate, gourmet chocolate. Also, they are opening in the major mall. There are already 3 during the pandemic. They opened right after the lockdown for the first one. And Taco Bell is opening quite a few also, mainly freestanding for Taco Bell. And also Percentage Arabica, they has opened at Central Park and Asta district, and they will be looking to open a few more. KKV is another concept that is thriving and doing very well during the pandemic. Is all the general merchandise store. Is like a supermarket and the Miniso combined. So they are opening mainly also, surprisingly, they are not in the city center, but they open in all the suburban because they realized during the pandemic, actually, all the suburban mall are doing better than the city. Okay, next slide, please. And Iuga is a brand from Singapore. Again, they come into the market at the right time because during the work from home and lockdown, people actually do a lot of home improvement. So this is the right kind of a trade for them. So Iuga opened quite a few stores also, and they will be still expanding. And another one is like Sociola, which is actually abbreviation of Social Bella. So this is one of the example of a local multi-brand, like actually they are a beauty startup tech shop, tech retailers. So now they are doing so well in online and offline. They are opening more and more shops. During the pandemic, actually, the sales and the profit grows more than 2-fold, and they are actually expanding now to Vietnam again October last year. So they are planning for 5 stores and 3 stores has opened. Our Savills Vietnam office has helped them with this expansion, including to set up their office in Vietnam. So this is one of the successful local concept that are brought out to overseas. So Pomelo again, another one. Alamis, Michael Kors again, the luxury brand. Some of the modern luxury brand are also still opening. Michael Kors is opening in Senayan City and Pimpri. So they open 2 more outlets in after the pandemic. So Boots is also everywhere. They are expanding also because again, health and beauty is another trend that is you can see very popular during the pandemic. Coffee Academics opening to Paris Baguette is coming into the market finally. So they are expanding also. Champion, Colhan, Uniqlo, as you know, everywhere globally, they are doing very well during this pandemic. They are opening everywhere, not just in Jakarta, but it's also 2nd and 3rd tier city. And then they are in almost every suburban mall, there is, and in all of the new project that you can find in Jakarta and outside Jakarta. Simi Folk is another sort of like a bigger Miniso concept that is also, again, the general merchandise concept that is popular during the pandemic. Next, please. Okay, so Graham, this is all mainly F&B, Starbucks Reserve, and Index Living Mall. Index finally come back to the market with MAP. So Sogo, they are opening in the Sogo, 4th floor of the Sogo and Kota Casablanca. And Metro Department Store also open. Cebu Department Store opening, smaller and more, just cosmetic and several upmarket brands in Pimpri. Samsung, the one and only multi-experience store opened at Senayan Park March last year. So on the ground floor, and Subway, surprisingly, they come back in a big way. I think it helps because of the Korean drama popularity. So they open already 19 outlets today. Just during starting from last year to this year. Gotran Charrier, from France, is coming soon and opening soon, freestanding, and they're still looking for location also. Livingstone is another one. This is a local concept from Bali. They're opening the first one in Peak. And Decathlon, again, because health and lifestyle is doing very well. So athleisure and all that. So Decathlon, JD Sport are, expanding and opening a, big store in malls in Jakarta. Next, please. Okay, and then another, Monster Spoon is another concept that is from Bali. They are opening a lot also in the mall. JDID Sport is electronic store. JDID electronic store is also opening electronic store. And then Kate Spade is still opening, and IKEA just opened their first outlet in the mall, in Mall Taman Anggrek. So they are looking for more of those type of stores, across the mall in Indonesia. Foot Locker is coming in a big way. They opened the big flagship store in Senayan City. And Edoko Playground, this is the the biggest, I think the flagship concept by Aeon Japan. They're opening at Lippo Mall Puri. And then Benang Jarum is a local concept. It's actually a Muslimic wear. Again, this is started, I think they opening online, and they're doing very well. So now they are going offline and they create a very nice boutique style, store. So actually, all of these local brands, the same like Mashiro and Co. is also they're selling shirt. Mainly, initially, it's just a white shirt. Now they're coming in different colors, but they are so popular and they're doing so well that they got a place at Plaza Indonesia. And Marhen J is also opening just recently, this month and last month. So they are still looking to add more stores. Okay. So again, during the pandemic, it doesn't deter the retailers from expanding. The new retailers are still looking for space, and then now even better for them, for some of the retailers, because they will be able to get the opportunity to be in a the popular mall that probably before they will not be they will not be accepted. So now there is an opportunity for them. So the current retail trend during the pandemic, again, we see that next please. We see there's again, health and beauty is the that is emerging. So because of the pandemic, people are working from home and they're in the lockdown. They have more time to browse online and to try out new products, and they have more time to do a skincare and try on a new beauty products and all that. So that's why a lot of local beauty brands are actually emerging from this during the pandemic. So these are the few: Erha, Sada, Something, and then Afoskin is just to name a few. But there's a lot of local, and initially it's starting from like mom and pop. Is started by all these young millennials and all that. They are bored, and then they're creating a new product, and suddenly it becomes starting from their friends, and it become popular. So they're starting to look for an offline store. So multi brands again, like Sephora, they are still expanding. Sociala is expanding heavily again. So Boots, Guardian, Watson, and then Beauty Hall is one of the, again, is also just consists of all the Indonesian local brand. So this is also coming out because of the pandemic. So they are trying to promote the Indonesian brand, and they are just featuring all the Indonesian cosmetic brands inside. So it's like a Sasa concept. Okay, but it's better. So next. So again, outdoor and sport and athleisure is very big during this pandemic. A lot of people are actually doing outdoor activities. Those people who never actually exercise in their life, including myself, actually starting to do some exercise during the lockdown. So and the problem, the Indonesian, like they like to do everything in a group. So it has been like creating a lot of communities because of all these sport and hobbies. So basically they start starting to, when they gang up together, when they set up a group, you know, for trekking, for cycling, for yoga, so it becomes a big thing. So they buy, you know, all the accessories from head to toe. So everybody is, you know, buying all the clothes. They try to, you know, flex their Alo Yoga, their Lululemon and all that, you know, so that, you know, they buy the same clothes and all that for the group. So it's a big thing, and then it's creating, you know, shopping, you know, because of that, you know. So trekking, hiking, cycling, and then I think Indonesian is the biggest market for Brompton last year, and then I think now is the mountain bike and the road bike is the you know, the next one that is everybody is having at least 2 or 3 in their household. Yeah, so again, all these sport brands is becoming very popular, and they're expanding because of that. There's a demand. And then hobbies also, everybody start to cook, everybody buy pets, and they do planting. So that's why all this kitchenette, Pet Kingdom, Salad Master, all these pot and pans and Thermomix especially are gaining popularity, and they get a lot of followers because a lot of people would like to cook, but they are newbies, so they will find the you know, a convenient way and the easy way to make a lot of different dishes, and they experiment with that. Okay, next. Okay, so the emerging F&B trends, of course, there's a lot of new F&B opening every week in Jakarta, especially. I think one of them is artisan coffee is everywhere. So again, because people do not have to work from office, they have more leisure to have the long breakfast, and they can, you know, like brunch and all that, and they, you know, even after their morning exercise, cycling, or they go for, you know, walk and all that, the yoga, they go to a cafe, and then they gather together and they hang out there, and then starting to work from the cafe. So that's why all these local artisan and international brands freestanding are very popular also, aside from being in the mall. So some of the mall that has outdoor alfresco seating is the advantage because they can open earlier. So all these cafes is everywhere, and also the pastry and the breakfast place. Again, as I mentioned, all these Monsieur Spoon, Livingstone, Beckerman, Butterman, and Baked is actually from Bali. So those people are starting to expand to Jakarta. Okay, next. So K-drama and K-pop has a very strong influence because everybody become a K-drama watcher and K-pop during the work from home. So during the lockdown, everybody watch Netflix and stream from all the other OTT. So basically anything that relates to the K-drama or the Korean centric, it becomes popular. So there's a lot of all this Korean brand and Korean food becoming popular, and Korean market, even Mukunghwa, is expanding everywhere. So, and a lot of now you can see in the mall, a lot of people are doing like Korean food court, actually because of the rising popularity of a Korean food because of a Korean drama and K-pop influence. Next. So F&B concept also during the pandemic because people, because most of the mall are closed during the lockdown, is creating some, F&B, small F&B clusters, sort of like initially it was more for a temporary or pop-up, all these developers who has, vacant land or undeveloped land, while waiting for the market to recover, they thought that they will bring, they try to do something rather than leaving the land idle. So they do something that is more like a temporary pop-up F&B concept that is easy to build, fast to build, and then not so costly. So but it becomes popular because most of the people, because of the pandemic, they feel more secure because of the outdoor environment. And then this is mainly are near where they stay, near the residential area. So there's a lot of this concept and clusters becoming, popular. So we see this being built across the past 2 years. So Urban Farm, M Block, Taman Budaya, Taman Mini, Broadway. So some of them goes to the extent of making it thematic. So it's like a Broadway, and Pik Pancoran is like the old Chinatown style, and also Cove Batavia. So all this, I think, like it will be still popular, but it will be, like I think it will not be for it's not sustainable for long. I think because the concept will still have to develop, and this is mainly occupied by a smaller retailers because the size is smaller. Next. So again, during the past 2 years, I think every retailers has learned. I think they learn to like what they should have learned probably, or starting to implement in the 2 to 5 years time. Now it becoming they have to do it like it or not. They speed up and they do it just across the short time. So everybody goes omni-channel, everybody trying to reach out to the customer when the customer cannot come to them. So I think the omni-channel retailing is very important. It's become the future. So, but again, they realize that the future is combining between the physical store and digital. So the two are actually goes hand in hand. So it's important to create a maximum shopping experience. So when done properly, I think the two will be fueling each other and will enhance a retail experience and increase sales. So people here, like for the not as a tech savvy as, like, for instance, older generation, or like for myself, for the luxury brand and all that, a lot of things, people still want a personal service. So basically a lot of transactions are done through WhatsApp and through Instagram. So basically the sales associates still sending you the catalog, the picture, and then after that you made an order, you choose, and then they can deliver it to your house, or you can actually pick it up at the store. So it's still done through this different channel. And aside from the marketplace like Tokopedia, Zalora, and all that, Blibli, but TikTok is another one that is very popular amongst the zillennials and the millennials. So basically TikTok has gained for the past 2 years, they have gained 300 million followers and users. So basically now you can even click a button and you can shop directly from this social media app, TikTok. So it's very popular among the Indonesian. Okay, next. Okay, the shoptainment is coming back. I guess after 2 years of being locked up in the house, people cannot wait. Indonesian people especially cannot wait to go out there and start going to the mall, start the gathering and socializing with their friends, and they just unstoppable. I guess like you can see that most of the malls now in Jakarta is actually packed, especially during the upcoming holiday. And as also Singaporean probably will enjoy, I don't know, enjoy or not enjoy, all of the Indonesians starting to go to Singapore, and they are vlogging the whole Orchard Road. My friend just come back and told me that like all the Indonesian are there, and then it feels like Lebaran season, whereby if in one of the park in Jakarta, Ancol, where people are actually shoulders to shoulder, like while walking they have to queue actually. So it's that much like Indonesian people, they like to socialize, they like to go out in a group, they like to like meet up and have a gathering. So I think it's unstoppable. At the end of the day, people will still go back to shopping malls. Definitely they will not just stay at home and do everything from offline, but like the shopping mall has to give them some entertainment. So it's not just a shopping experience, it's not just shopping, but it's also to give them some entertainment and experience and engaging with the customers. So basically shoptainment, one of the the metaverse is another thing that is going to be popular. Retailers are starting to apply it, and I think the mall owners eventually will also have to create a virtual mall in the metaverse. Probably Pak Henry will be the first one to do so, because he is young and very savvy in terms of the tech. So basically this is Bright Spot metaverse is actually they have an event event at a Spark, Senayan Park, which is belong to Lippo. So they create, actually it's just a bazaar. It's like a Sunday, it's like a event where they do a lot of pop-up stores, and they do the metaverse is to show people, actually as a shop directory where actually what, food and fashion and all that, which where each section or department is. So they create this actually because mainly the followers are youngsters, the zillennials and the millennials. So basically this is something that they feel excited about. So I guess, I mean, like very important for, for retailers and also likewise the developers to actually create engage with their customers through the metaverse, like an hashtagable experience and Instagrammable spot within the store and in the mall. Because as you can see, I mean, like Adidas is one of the retailers that start with the metaverse. So I mean, like so those communities or those people who is becoming a part of their metaverse actually will get a special drop of limited limited produce or merchandise, and then they can pick it up at the regular store, but it's only available for those who is member of their metaverse store. So again, the next one. Okay, the project that is you've seen and that will continue to see is like how developers are actually changing, quickly adapting and changing, and then transferring or changing the design of their mall to actually adapt to the life after the pandemic, the new normal. So basically, combining the indoor and outdoor experience like Senayan Park, you can see that we have the outdoor, which is the park whereby people can leisurely walk. And then, this is situated across the sport complex in Senayan area, right at the city center. You don't see this in the city. So this is the only one in the city whereby, you can see all the greens and all this is natural. I mean, the trees and all that, some of them are already quite old, is there, so people can feel that they are, they can do the leisure walk. And a lot of people are bringing their pets and walking their dog in this mall, because again, the regular mall will not allow them to do so, but this is the space that they can hang out and, bring their pets together with them. And then also, I mean, like the indoor space also, create, there's a lot of balcony seating also. And then even on the top, actually we are offering entertainment. So a lot of bar and also rooftop bar and also F&B, and including also the Sky Bridge Park. Actually on top there you can enjoy the view, panoramic view, and then you can also again Instagrammable spot on the top of the building. So again, developer has to be more creative in, combining and creating a space that will be, sort of like Indonesian. They don't like to go to the park, but they like to go to the mall. So this is the answer whereby they can feel like they're going to the mall, but it's actually a park, with their family. Okay, next. This is another project, actually Batavia Peak is by Agung Sedayu. It's actually a row of rucos, shop houses. However, because again during the pandemic, F&B is popular, so they're creating all this F&B pot. So it's actually to be like Bodki and Klaki. So there will be some sitting areas and some F&B concept on the water, actually facing the shop houses. So some of the shop houses owners can also lease the sitting area in the water right in front of their shop houses. So this is again retail that is coming up because of the pandemic. So all this is again combining the outdoor and indoor experience. Next. Next is the Garden Grove, is another huge and big project in the in Cikarang, Meikarta by Lippo. So this is in Orange County. Again, is a combination of the community, outdoor and indoor shopping experience. Is a big mall, is of around 150,000 square meter NLA. So basically there will be a rooftop garden, also a big area for community, again for all the residents and all the of the apartment and all the residents around the area. And also there's actually organic valley, which is the outside. So this is designed by a Japanese architect. So this is to be likened to like Namba Park, but it's in a bigger way. So Namba Park in Osaka. So again, people will still be looking when they come into the mall with their family. They can choose to be either they want to roam around in the inside of the mall, or they can go outside of the mall. So again, there will be some part of entertainment element inside also. So again, I think people will this all outdoor freestanding and all that is temporary. At the end of the day, people, because it's mainly just F&B, but at the end of the day, people will still want to go shopping, and then while they're going and running their errands and all that, the other member of the family can get entertained, and they can get walk around outside in the mall, so they can do everything as a family together. And because they can do their shopping, and then they do their eating, and also getting an entertainment in the mall. So again, there will be more malls coming up, and also as we can see, I think in Asia, I think the malls culture are still not lost yet. People still like to go and visit and get entertained in the mall. Even like in Bangkok, we can see that actually, which is very similar to Indonesia. People, the mall group and the people are and central group are still planning a huge and big mall to coming up. Okay, I think, all in all, I think, again, we would like, there's still so much growth opportunity in Indonesia, because our population, 270 million population of Indonesia, more than 50% of those are actually, we are a very young population. More than 50% of those are actually millennials and zillennials and the post Gen Z. So basically, there's still so much to tap to actually, and then the growing middle class because of this pandemic. Actually, a lot of youngsters actually, some is losing their job, but it's a blessing in disguise. When they lost their job, they become like a entrepreneur. So they start doing things themselves, and then it becomes popular. They start baking, they start doing F&B concept and all that, and it becomes popular. So they become they become entrepreneur themselves. And then also a lot of salagram, what we call, and those people who is doing just by initially it's out of the bonus, they do they do Insta story, they do TikTok and all that, and suddenly there's so many people following them, and now all the products are starting to be, and they get the endorsement, and they suddenly become rich. So just to mention, one of my niece is actually she happened to quit her job with Procter and Gamble and become this salagram, and she said that in a month she can earn around 200 million rupiahs. So she become rich out of a sudden. So so there's a lot of new rich again, these youngsters, and a lot of because of those millennials and zillennials who is investing in cryptocurrency shares and all that. They also they earn their profit, and of course a lot of people also lose their money, but there's a lot of new crazy rich, what we call in Indonesia, is suddenly those people who is suddenly become rich people, and they like to flex, and when they flex, everybody go and buy whatever that they're flexing. So again, I think there's a lot of opportunities still for Indonesia. So we would like to see some of you guys come and visit Indonesia, Jakarta, and we'll be more than happy to bring you around. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosalind.
Thank you.
If I may now invite Danny from Lippo Malls, Indonesia. Danny, please.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, we can see it, Danny.
Okay, very good. Give me just a moment. Okay, thanks so much, Rosalie, and your team in presenting a very exciting opportunity, of course, here in Indonesia. You covered a lot of the material I had planned to cover, so I will kind of reduced mine slightly. This is our 33rd year of operation. Our first mall opened 33 years ago. And today we're operating 60 locations. So it's been a very dramatic growth over the 3 decades. And as mentioned by Rosalie also, innovation is extremely important in attracting our mall visitors, staying abreast of what's happened in the marketplace. And Lippo Malls has certainly been the lead in that excellence. This is our team here. We have a very diverse team, quite experienced. Henry Riady, as mentioned earlier, is our CEO. Adi Mungan as our COO. Henderson as our CFO. Myself as the CMO. And Rita Yovita as our Associate Director and also Commercial Officer. Obviously, we have a team behind us as well, strong support team that's in the malls and also in the head office as well. Our vision is broadening horizons and transforming lives. So, as our nation continues to grow and our population is growing rapidly, of course, this gives us an opportunity to support really exciting experiences with our visitors that come to our malls every year and continue to create those experiences that's memorable. When they walk away, they think, oh, wow, I had such a great experience in my local Lippo Mall. We are the largest mall developer and operator in Indonesia. We have 60 locations nationwide. We're in 33 cities. We have over 2.5 million square meters. Excuse me. We have over 300 million visitors a year and over 24,000 associates as well. We do also operate the #1 mall loyalty app in Indonesia, in iOS and also in Android. This is our operating locations. We go north and south, east and west. As you can see, we cover all the way from Aceh over to Maluka, Manado. We operate the top malls in Medan, Palembang. Also mentioned earlier was South Jakarta, Lippo Mall Puri. That's one of our largest footprint malls that we operate. Also one of our most high traffic malls, of course. And then we also operate all of our malls that we operate or leaders in the communities where we do operate. We also have 5 lifestyle centers that we manage, which is where hypermarts are located. These are the cities, or the name of the mall rather, and the regions that we operate in. I'll not read through each one of these. We're sharing this presentation with you. You can see on the lower right-hand corner, there's a Google Drive sheet there. You can copy and paste that over so you can get more details from each of the locations. It does take agility. It does take a very dynamic strategy also to be able to maneuver through the uncertainties that we've all faced. It's been experience that none of us have faced from our previous life, of course. But this macro environment that we all experienced with a global pandemic, the inflation that we are currently facing as well, the restrictions from the government, opening, closing, opening, closing, a lot of jobs that were lost earlier, as mentioned by Rosalie. But we've come out very strong, actually much stronger. Our recovery for the mall traffic is right on forecast. Also, as mentioned earlier, Sumatra was able to recover much faster than some other regions within the country. We have some locations that's well over 100% of 2019 traffic already. So the customer is coming back. That's because in our case, again, we've had a very large, loyal customer base, and we've been very agile and responsive in our operating model so that we could adjust as these opening and closings that were occurring from the government. We were able to adjust very rapidly and be able to continue to, again, come out very strong. As we move forward, we're reviewing our strategic plan, of course. That transformation is going to be very vibrant, it's very dynamic, it's very exciting, of course. And our focus is trying to pivot more away from that handle of so-called malls more into customer experiences with the new concepts that's been discussed earlier, and also to ensure that we're staying in front of that customer behavior, because the customer is a very dynamic customer today. What was popular yesterday is no longer popular today. So we're very agile in being able to make these adjustments very rapidly. And we also, we have the ability now to leverage our data and technology to improve our marketing effectiveness, where we have the ability to be able to communicate on a very regular basis and create a better value proposition to our visitors, but also to our tenants as well. We have strong partnerships with the majority of our tenants. And because of that, we also have been able to reach out to third party, which I will discuss in a little more detail later on. That gives us the opportunity for co-branding to give, again, a better proposition, not only to our visitors, but also to our tenants as well. Each of our malls that we operate are unique. They have unique demographics and character. We do serve for the moderate, upper moderate in the majority of our locations. It's very convenient, of course. Our malls are known for community centers, hanging out, family gatherings, of course. And we also have a lot of activities related to the localized community within a small radius around each of our malls. As a result of that, again, there's very inspiring experiences that the customer, when they walk away, they remember it, and they will continue to come back to our locations. Also, a result of our unique demographics from each location, each of the malls have a unique character of tenants, of course. We manage over 5,000 outlets with a large portfolio of tenants. And as mentioned earlier, also, digitalization is extremely important in the future, and that's a focus. We have one of the strongest loyalty programs in Indonesia, most diverse rewards and point system and so forth. And we're enhancing that as we go forward, and also enhancing other digitalization opportunities as well, not only to support our visitors, but also to support our tenants and third party. Our major tenants are some of the most iconic brands in Indonesia and the world. As already mentioned earlier, we have large F&B brand portfolio, also fashion, of course, whether it's a local fashion brand or international fashion brands. Sports, obviously, is, as mentioned earlier, also is extremely important in Indonesia, and we have a large stable of brands to support that. Also, it's very important that we continue to partner with our third party support as well. We have some of the top global brands that we're working with and partner with. Of course, locally is the entire Go group. We have partnered with them, from Tokopedia to GoPay to GoFood, GoJack, GoCar, Shopee. Also, we have a strong relationship with Disney for events and activities. Singapore Air, we have a partnership with. Also, and continue to follow the gaming trend that continues just to grow and continue strong momentum. We have partnered with Free Fire also for activities and events in many of our locations. Also, we partner with car manufacturers. In this case, I'm showing here is Mitsubishi. Support our Shop and Win, where we give away a number of cars based on certain behavior through the Styles program. We have a strong development plan for the future. We have 37 malls in the pipeline. So in the near future, that'll put us close to 100 locations will be operated. This is a location we opened in November 2021. It's here in the heart of Lippo, Karawaci. We have Ranch Market, Holy Wings, Subway, Sam's, Papa Jack's, excuse me, and others. This is a unique for young millennials to hang out, young families to hang out. It's become extremely popular in the short time it's been open. Very strong Holy Wings here. If you're not familiar with Holy Wings, it is a bar and club. but they're expanding extremely fast throughout Indonesia and a great partner with us. Also mentioned earlier was, I'm sorry, I'm trying to pronounce this, Osomanto, which is in the very fast growing Bintaro area in South Tangerang, right outside Jakarta. This will open the end of this year. Actually, this is a lifestyle center also with apartments, so it's a mixed use area with family entertainment as well. Also mentioned earlier was the small percentage of available space in East Side. So we're open in Limes, Lippo Mall East Side, end of this year. This is also a mixed use facility with hospital, residence, school, hotel. It'll cater to the office workers and also family. But it's a fantastic location, of course, for meeting lunchtime and just relaxing with family and friends. Garden Grove, as mentioned earlier, also open end of this year. That's in Orange County. Again, another mixed use area that includes, they'll be very close to the LRT and the monorail here. So it's just an excellent location. And it's in one of the fastest growing corridors in the country around the Cikarang area. And also, as mentioned by Rosalie, it's so important to be able to have outside entertainment, indoor, outdoor. Kamung Village created Avenue of the Stars many years ago, several years ago. It's one of the most popular hangout spots there is in Jakarta area. This is always a venue for major events, whether it's the Jakarta Symphony performing, Beijing Opera. Also, we brought in for Oktoberfest, Germany, from Germany, the entertainers. So we always have something fun and exciting going on every weekend in Kamung, whether it's live music or the major entertainment that I've mentioned. Also, Lippo Mall Puri and Coffee Walk is another opportunity. We have a large screen digital where the World Cup was shown and many other entertainment opportunities as well, whether it's live music on the weekend or other types of entertainment. Also in Lippo Plaza Jogja in Seven Skies, this is a rooftop facility for entertainment, live music at night. Also plenty of food and beverages. As you probably know, Jogja is a university community, so it is the hangout, the center of hangout for university students in the Jogja area. This is just 3 of many locations that we do have the fresco inside, indoor, outdoor entertainment facilities. Also, because we are mall focused on family entertainment and also focused on the community events and so forth, we support major activities every weekend, whether it's a character such as My Little Pony, Disney with Frozen and other the princess characters, etc. So there's always something unexpected happening when you come into one of our locations. We have 7 themes, major themes a year. This past year in Christmas we brought New York Christmas to Indonesia. As you see here on Kamung Village, we had Radio City Music Hall. That is actually the design that Kamung did for Radio City Music Hall. Also, of course, as you see there, Chinese New Year, we have special decor as well as events centered around that. And because our malls, each one of our malls are unique, we do, again, localize the activities and the events, but we also stay in front of all the trends, as mentioned earlier by Rosalie. Whether it's in this case, the Sneaker Fest that we do in several of the locations every year. And then also we support our SMEs with a market museum and other activities in almost every weekend. As mentioned earlier, we have the largest integrated mall loyalty program in Indonesia, where our customers can receive rewards regardless of where they're shopping in what city across all 55 mall locations. They can earn, redeem, and also be rewarded as they shop. We have a very high average user rate of around 65%. And we reach out to our customers in a number of ways, whether it's through push notifications, WhatsApp, email blasts, and we have obviously very active on Instagram with over 1 million followers. We will share this presentation with you. This is my contact information, also Barita's contact information. But we look forward to seeing you as we visit Singapore. And we also look forward to when you come to Indonesia to be able to host you here as well.
Thank you, Danny,
Thank
for
you.
the presentation. Not to worry, we'll be sending all the decks that were presented today by Danny and also by Rosalind. Okay, so for the last part, may I invite Hishamuddin from SBF to do the presentation next?
Hi, thank you so much, Anwar. Thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished speakers and participants who joined us today. I'm Syam from SBF Singapore Business Federation, country for Indonesia. Today, I would like to share with you how GlobalConnect at SBF will help your business to expand in overseas market, especially in Indonesia for today's topic. And I'll do my best to keep it within 10 minutes time frame because I think we're overrun already. I think Rosalind have give a good information. Indonesia love to going to the mall, and maybe one day we can do TikTok together, yeah, Rosalind. And also, Pak Danny have mentioned they have the largest loyalty program, for the malls. So I think it's good that we can work together with Lippo Mall for Singapore company. We intend to venture their retail business in Indonesia. So maybe just do a quick start. So GlobalConnect, we started at 2019. Our main goal is to help companies to expand into the overseas market. So since 2019, we have been connecting to 10,000 companies and facilitate them and give them advice to expand their market presence in overseas. And we can see that 47% of the company are interested to venture to Southeast Asia. Next. Out of 10,000 connection, we have been giving advice, almost 4,800 in-depth advisory on how they can expand it overseas, the strategy, and then what are the pitfalls to avoid, and the compliance. And out of that 4,800, we have facilitated at least 96 projects where they can close the business deal in that particular market. So how do we do it? So we have 3 pillars: learn, land, and localize. So what happened is that we'll help companies to learn about the market with providing an in-depth understanding and knowledge of the market or the particular market that they are keen to explore and access into it. And subsequently, we will access their product and their services and see to what extent with the best strategy to land and localize in the market. And hopefully they are able to close some deals in the particular market. We have one program, I think this is good to share for retail company who are interested to go to global presence. So SBF has a CCPI program to support and train your staff to do international business. So if you need more information, please do contact us. Well, since the pandemic have hit us, we know that digitalization is one of the key factors to bring business abroad. So we introduced FI Festival. It's for your utilization purpose to the market. And last year, we have run 34 webinars for various markets, including virtual business matching. So do watch us in the next series, 2022, for the FI Festival episode. You can look out on the GlobalConnect website later. So that's in a nutshell about GlobalConnect. We are here to give you a complimentary service under the 3 pillars to help you to grow your business in overseas. Dive into the Indonesian markets. As you know, there's G20 coming up and the B20 coming up. They're running in Bali right now. So there's abundance of opportunity in Indonesia. So it's good that we think global, but I believe if you're going to go to that particular market, you need to act local. You got to do local act so that we can understand the market and know the pitfall and how we can access the market without any failure. At the same time, as you see doors open up. There's no more quarantine. Last time you only can travel to Bali under the tourist visa, but now for Singaporean company, or Singaporean can enter to Indonesia in Jakarta, Surabaya, and Bali, and even Batam. So I think it's a good time to explore the market, because Singapore is a top investor in Indonesia. 32% of the whole FDI investments come from Singapore. And as you can see also, the projection for the GDP growth is quite healthy, it's at 5.2%. And I did check with Bank Indonesia, so the consumer confidence index is very strong since March till throughout this whole year. And Java is still the dominant market in terms of the FDI. So if you intend to go, it's very important where you want to focus the particular province or city, because Indonesia is a very huge market. Next. This is a bit of the news highlight, the recent one. I mean, you can see the spending of the consumer growth is growing positively, but of course, be mindful in your business strategy when you're entering the market, as the inflation is going up very high. I believe now it's around 3%, then last year was only 2%. And also, I think that you need to take note in terms of your price index. The current VAT have just increased since 1st April. So previously it was only 10%. Right now it's already 11%, increased to 1%. So in terms of your price index, you need to take a look on that for your business strategy. And as you can see, CNBC also has mentioned Indonesia will be the top Southeast Asian market by Wall Street Bank, mentioned by Gold Session and JP Morgan. So I think this is really a good indication that you need to explore Indonesian market. As mentioned, the consumer confidence index, as I said, Java still dominates the whole market in Indonesia. But you can see at Banjarmasin down there, as mentioned by James, Sumatra, Kalimantan. These are the new area that you can explore the market, and you can see it's going strong. In March, they increased by 2.3. So this is something that you can do. And also the new development of the Nusantara city is going to happen in East Kalimantan. I want to touch a bit on the OSS. It's something like ACRA, and in Singapore, it's called Online Single Submission. Since the Omnibus Law has passed, investment criteria and also the compliance have been given a bit of relaxation by the government from BKPM side. Certain sector, so last time used to be a negative list, but now they have changed it to a positive and a priority business field. Where example like trading, like distribution, you get 100% ownership in Indonesia. But a bit of the setback, I mean, the Omnibus Law is supposed to create more job creation and also bring more foreign direct investment into the market. The current investment you need to make is currently 10 billion, it's almost 1 million Sing dollar if you convert in the ratio. So these are the things that you need to also take a look, and the strategy best to enter is start a rep office and then slowly see the market, do a marketing expense first, and then slowly get grant support from the Singapore government and also from SRA together with us down there, as we have boots on the ground and office in Indonesia. And then slowly you can find a partners or distributor. But of course, if you have a good sales revenue, it's good to have your own entity down there. You can see the trend right now for the past 4 years. Service is the best index for investment in Indonesia. Sorry. Ano, can I carry on?
Oh, yeah, I think somebody accidentally unmuted. You can carry on.
So as you can see, the service sector is the main dominant investment from foreign direct investment. So easily cover up to hospitality, tourism, finance, fitness, beauty and wellness, like Rosalind said, media and entertainment. So these are the sector that under services. So I think it's a strong indication that we should invest into Indonesia in this service sector. We look at, these are the current trend in 2002, since we facilitate some project with some companies in Singapore. So these are the 4 sectors that we see that is going strong, and of course technology cut across to all sectors which demand in the Indonesian market. I just want to share some deal highlight that recently we did. So it's on a case-to-case basis how we help the company to expand overseas. So example, we can touch on the halal, we can touch on the compliance, we even can touch on the Food and Drug Agency, BPOM. We talk about retail, and one interesting part, we have one company called Delish Brand. They wanted to expand in Bali, but then due to COVID, we decided to give them recommendation to open a cloud kitchen first. But I think they're going strong, so hopefully this brand we can introduce to Lippo Mall to see how they can grow together. There's a second slide is for your reading also. I just want to mention one of the case where we have this baby product where they bring it from Denmark. It's a very interesting company. So currently they're doing strong, and then they have a good support from the Denmark brand, or so-called the production side. And then they are expanding for this brand into Indonesia. And currently they already set up their own representative office to run their marketing program and also find distributor down there. These are the last final part which I want to share. Maybe you can do some reading when you receive the slide. Business culture is something very complex, and Indonesia is something that it's not business first, it's relationship first, and also respecting the multicultural. Example, in Friday is a batik day, so it's good that we use batik during Friday when we even go to work or meet client, or you have a leisure. It's good to wear batik. It's not mandatory, but it's respecting the culture. Communication is something also unique. Down there, they prefer to do WhatsApp rather than email. Is some example. And like you mentioned down here, doesn't mean they say yes. They understand what your tonation or your understanding. So it's good that you explain clearly to the team. And patience is all the key to success. It's because it's a long-term game plan in Indonesia. And managing your staff and adaptation to the local hierarchy chart is something important. So there's total 8 points I want to share with you, but give yourself a longer and more realistic deadline and manage your expectation when you go into Indonesia, because Indonesia is a long-term game plan. So that's about it for the business culture that I want to share with you. Last but not least, like I mentioned, we have the foot on the ground. We are here to help companies to grow and expand overseas. So currently we have our office in Sudirman there. So we have 3 teams based in cloud office where we have overseas company who intend to go to market and understand the market. And even as the door open and you need to have meetings and everything that you need to ask help and assistance, we are there for you. So do contact us together with SRA. We see what we can help for Singapore retail company to go to Indonesian market. At the same time, we also have other offices in Bangkok and also in Vietnam. So if you intend to explore this other market, do let us know. We can connect you to our other country head officer. So there's a fair bit about my side. I hope I keep it in time in 10 minutes. I hand over back to Anwar. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Sham, for the very succinct presentation. So now we will open the floor for any questions. If I may invite anyone to just put into the Zoom chat, or you can just unmute yourself. Okay, since we do not have any questions so far, we have come. Oh, okay, we have one here. How do we proceed if we are interested in opening a store in one of the Lippo malls? What we can do is that you can write into us. We will do the connection to the folks at Lippo. Danny is in this call.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes. And sorry, Henry.
Sorry, good. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
Henry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Burrito is also on the call too.
Burrito
She's
as well, yes.
direct contact. Yes. And then also Henry or myself or Pat Hitty.
Yeah, we go back and forth Singapore a lot. So if you are in Singapore, again, let SRA know. Let's meet up. But if any of you are also flying to Indonesia, we'd be even more happier to take you around. So yeah, I think SRA will be able to give some of the info on the contacts and etc.
In June, we're going to bring in a delegation as well. So you can join us as well, so because we'll be visiting a few of Henry's malls now.
there's a question on the study trip. Do you want to answer that from the SRA? Or from Rose?
Hi there. Hi, everyone. Hi,
Hi, Rose.
Henry. Thanks
Hi, Rose.
for
Thanks
the
for making
presentation,
time.
which was very good. Thank you, Rosalind and everyone in SBF.
Thank you.
Okay, a little bit about the study trip. Well, this is going to be one of the first business mission that we're going to mount. And, you know, we will have the pleasure of Lippo malls hosting some of these trips, some of these store visits, Henry.
That's right. That's right. We will not only be visiting Lippo malls. I think we want you to understand and love Indonesia and fall in love with Indonesia so that you can be more confident. But we'll give you an overview of all the different areas of the city, which is quite a big city, including our malls as well as non-Lippo malls as well.
Right. Okay, I think the plan for us is to not just take our retailers down to, in Jakarta, but we were looking at actually also making a trip down to Bali, to, look at how you can actually attract the tourist visitor. And, and of course, after having been cooped up for so long in Singapore, for 2 years, it's time to see the sun and the sand. So, then from there, we'll make a trip down to Indonesia, Jakarta. So we think it'll be really quite fun. I think it'll be also very enriching. And like, we're not just going to see stores visit, but I think, like you said earlier on, we'll be looking at, perhaps some kind of business matching and also to look at e-commerce players whom we can actually meet and engage them. And we will also have the assistance of SBF, to, connect us to manufacturers, suppliers, etc. So it's going to be quite a holistic trip. Yeah. And okay, a bit of shopping lah. Yeah.
A bit of a beach as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the requests that we get actually is to find partners. And that's where we really can also help. And so you can find partners. I don't know, Savills, Rosalie is nodding her head. We would love to be able to introduce people, do what do you call this, the speed dating kind of concept. We can arrange those as well.
Yep.
If you let us know ahead of time what you're looking for, what kind of a partner, we can help to kind of filter them out and also choose and give you the good ones.
Right. I guess maybe in our outreach to the retailers, when we actually share with them the trip, we will also want to hear from them, if they intend to embark on this trip with us, to see who do they want to specifically meet up with so that we can actually arrange for that speed dating lah. Yeah.
Yeah, we also don't want the whole trip to just be like, a schedule, right? We will try to, we've requested that there'll be like spaces where if you would like to see certain things in the mall or outside the mall or certain partners, we can arrange those on a one-to-one basis without the whole group being there. We can do that.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I think what we also want is to offer the retailers who are there, who will actually be coming from different categories, different trade, and perhaps even different interests. So we'll try to, accommodate that all within the same schedule. So there could be like 2 different tracks, for example, for the retailers. Yeah.
Yeah, so just whatever you have on request, just please give it to Rose or the SRA team, and we'll look into one by one. So just put whatever your requests or whatever your special requests are. We'll find a way to make it as tailor-made as possible.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay, we'll make it fun too. Yeah.
Shall I just add that Lemia is based in Singapore. I got my team in Singapore. Although we can't really technically market these spaces, but I'm sure we can do a link up between ourselves and ISRA and the retailers here, and it's also help to link up with my Indonesian partners. I think that's very important. Obviously, we have a stronghold in Indonesia, but we also understand that various retailers have different markets, different preferences, and then we try to obviously build Indonesia up in the value chain, right, all these things. So that's what I just need to add. So we are offering obviously easy access since we're based in Singapore if necessary. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe to some people here who are maybe, a bit confused, Lemire actually owns about half of our malls. And it's listed in Singapore. So half of our malls is listed there. And definitely you can also contact them as well to get to know a bit more of those locations.
Okay, so so stay in touch, keep a lookout, and you can actually, contact myself or Anwar on your interest to, to join us in the trip to Jakarta. And we will definitely be sharing more information, on our website, on our Facebook, and also for all the participants who have actually registered with us today for this afternoon session. Yeah.
Yep. And can I add one more thing, that the cases of COVID here is so low that this now is the time to come over here. I mean, and there's not a lot of the processes. Maybe you saw online that there was a lot of like queues at the airports. It's not like that. You basically just go. They've opened it up as well for Jakarta as well. So please come. I mean, it's Lebaran in about a week's time. So if you come here and you have a look, you'll see the atmosphere. I think it'll be very, very good.
Right. When I was in New York, there were like 1 million cases there. I didn't get it there, but when I came back to Singapore, so small, I caught COVID. So, yep, it's safer now. Yep. So, are there any more questions that that anyone might want to pose to Henry and the team here? Well, if not, then it's a wrap. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Henry. Thanks, Rosalind.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Bu
Jane.
Ros. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you, all the
Take care.
organizer.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
You too.
Bye.